Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for your time. Today's pick a card, it's going to be how close are you to your dream, to your goal, to your dream goal? Not really sure how I'm going to label it, but it's something along those lines. We're going to look into how close you're getting, where you might be at the moment, what your aspirations are, maybe some of your fears, etc. So we're going to choose today by the runes. These are technically going to be your advice continuing towards your goal, but we're only going to look at the top one for your choice, and then we'll leave the other two blank for whatever pile you choose. Let's get into it. So for pile 1, we have ᴜᴜᴜ, which stands for possessions, heritage, traditions, inheritance, fundamentals. There it is. Pile 2, alges, stands for protection, guardian, status quo. And then we have ᴜᴜᴜs, or ᴜᴜᴜs, physical strength, potency, and vitality. So my collective, take a second, see which rune or which pile might be calling to you, and I will see you on the door of your dreams. I'm kidding, I'll see what your piles. Welcome my pile 1, who chose ᴜᴜᴜ, which is inheritance, heritage, foundations, fundamentals, possessions. So, my pile 1, how close are you to your dream goal, or to your goal? This position over here is going to be where you stand currently. So let's have a look. Keeping in mind, well, I should say for myself, keeping in mind that this is a help on where you are leading, or where you're being led, or where you're going, which is about that. Maybe it has to do with your legacy, your foundation, again, your fundamentals, your heritage, what you're leaving behind. Legacy is pretty much it. So we're going to keep that in mind, although we know it's a future energy. So this feels like this is what your part of your goal is about this. Right, let's start off where we stand. Sorry, these are going to come over each position. We're going to get a guidance card for each position after we've addressed all the cards. So with the Feng Shui card first, you have 14 great possessions. That makes sense. From the source, creating sources. Creating success. Wow. It says, you are rich either in material goods or in knowledge, wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. Whatever it takes, you have something real and potent in your possessions. That which you have or are, you can give. This pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. Given all you have, who will you be? How can you affirm and support what is good? So it feels like, my beautiful collective of pile 1, where you stand right now is gaining. It's in the momentum of building, which is fitting with this ᴜᴜᴜ, this possessions, this fundamentals, this legacy, what you're leaving behind, creating something to imprint on this time, on this earth, on this dimension. And they're saying that you do have a lot to give, and it does feel like you are. It feels like you are sharing. It feels like you are putting out, in other words, which is nice. Let's see the tarot card with you. Yeah, the Emperor, good. Beautiful. Feels like you're standing in your power, confident, building your success, building that foundation, strengthening its foundation, affirming and supporting what is good. Beautiful. And then some emotions behind where you stand right now. Sorrow, interesting. Why is that, pile 1? Maybe you're having doubts, maybe because it's not here yet. Maybe because you can't really see what you've actually accomplished. Maybe you can't see that about yourself yet, in other words. Maybe you're thinking that you're falling short when you aren't. Maybe there's something else entirely that you're missing. Maybe it has something to do with a legacy that was left to you and how you're using it now. Maybe you wish that they could see it in the 3D, or maybe you don't want to do the same thing. There's so many ways that this could play out. I'm curious as to why the sorrow's here. But we will get more clarity on that, I think, as we continue. So it feels like where you stand is in a really lovely position. It feels like spiritually, materially, like you're putting in the work, you're setting the roots, you're building that foundation, which is lovely. And that's definitely not always the easy work or the light work. It's hard labor, and maybe that's it. Maybe there isn't enough time for you. Who knows? But maybe there's something about it that you no longer want. Let's see. Let's see where you're going, which is this side over here. And we have Earth, number 2. Talk about grounding, right? Rooting, setting that foundation. From the source, creating success, the constancy of a mare bears fruit. A noble one has a direction to go. At first, confusion, later gains a master. This is what this might be. At first, confusion. Peaceful constancy brings good fortune. Partners with creative force in the flow of creation. When you have a mare's constancy, you will be steadily loyal to the truth and action. The noble one has a direction in mind, but not the route planned out. At first, there are many possibilities, but once you begin, guidance and signs can be received to light your way. How are you being guided? How can you lend your strength? This is it. Maybe this is where this energy is coming from for you, The noble one has a direction in mind, but no route is planned out. So it feels maybe this is where the sorrow is. Maybe you feel like you need a little bit more structure in some way. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're doing exactly what you need to be doing and should be doing, and that's what it feels like to me. But again, this sorrow can be a completely other area separate from your goal. Okay, let's see the tarot. We have the 4 of Coins in the reverse. That's so interesting because that's the energy I got from the Earth card over here. How are you being guided? I do feel like there might be something about I don't know if it's uprooting, changing, or altering a way something was done in the past, but still honoring it, and maybe that honoring wasn't received well. And I feel like, again, this is not for everybody, but this example is what it feels like. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, your path is your path, and we are lighting that way, so how can it be wrong for you? There's something about uprooting a way something was done before and redoing it and creating success from the way you did it. They're bringing me to Gary V's story about him working in, excuse me for the noise, his father's wine shop. And his father wouldn't let him do anything and reorganize something, and then eventually he just took the initiative and, made a sale. I can't remember the full story, but like put one of these particular wines that don't sell well on sale, and it sold out and online at the time, and it sold out so quickly, and then it's that kind of energy. But Gary V's father obviously took in the energy, and I feel like maybe that's the reason why they bring it up. I feel like eventually it will be seen, it will be understood, it will be something for you to really be proud of on all aspects of where you're looking for that respect, and from whoever that it's from. I don't know why that came out like that, but it came so very clearly. Some of the emotions, joyfulness, yeah. I do feel like you will eventually come together with this energy, because this 4 of Coins in the reverse really does for me feel like an uprooting of something that was already like a really great foundation, a really good, again, maybe something being handed down to you. They're really bringing me in that reference. And again, it doesn't have to be familial hand down. It could just be like you are given this position now that has already been established. You fit it how it fits in your life. Okay, let's see what your aspirations are, and that's this position right here. Advancing, of course. It says Prince Kang used a gift of horses to breed a multitude. In the course of a day, he mated them 3 times. Like Prince Kang, brother of King Wu, who was rewarded for his loyalty with horses, you have been given gifts you must make the most of. Strength, inspiration, and popularity enable you to travel further and faster. Strength, let me read that again. Strength, inspiration, and popularity, when I gave that Gary Vee example of on the internet or revamping something that was already here, enables you to travel further and faster, gets farther, gets success. Magnify your blessings by acting accordingly to seize the opportunity to advance and prosper. What gifts and opportunities have you been given? How can you make the most of them? That's what you want to do. Obviously, right? You want to advance, you want to grow, you want to create this sort of long-lasting foundation that supersedes generations and continues to evolve, is what they just said. That's awesome. Let's see your tarot. The moon in the reverse. Yeah. Wanting to bring clarity, to be seen, to bring things to light, inspiration, aspirations to light, to bring your magic, to bring it into form, to show what you can do. Yeah, it's like you're ready now is what I'm getting. There's an energy of readiness to be seen, but there's something that keeps pulling me back to that SAR energy. Okay, let's see what your emotions are behind your aspirations. Waiting. Yeah, again, there's just like this waiting for an acceptance of some kind, or permission even, or your turn, or waiting not to feel sad anymore, or be affected by it anymore, and really relish in the joys of your successes. And I'm also getting a sense of there's no more need for you to wait to be seen anymore, to be acknowledged, or to start shining. Okay, let's look at your fears. It says the vessel. Interesting. From the source, good fortune, creating success, a new beginning. The vessel provides stable, robust foundations for a new life, and also the crucible where you can accept to be transformed and remade. Wow. Just as a wood becomes fire or raw ingredients become food, the experience of life can be blended and transmuted into a meaningful whole. What is the vessel for transformation? What are you beginning? What will you cook? And this is exactly it. Maybe this is the fear. It's like fear of the success, but it's so interesting because I actually feel like you're in it already. It's not even like a fear of it coming in. It's like you're in it. Maybe that's why I'm getting this, like, don't want to disappoint or let it down in some way. And that's why I feel like it might have been handed to you, not necessarily just out of the sky, but like you worked for it in some degree, or it was inherited and just literally handed down to you. Regardless, it's yours. And this new beginning of, again, bringing in that reference of Gary Vee, it's that same energy. It's like, I want to do something new with something that's really great. I know I can make this better, and I also want to leave my mark on this. So it's almost like I'm getting like a baby. It's like how would I call it? Your baby. Like it's your project right now, and you want to see this thing further grow. So that you can. Oh man, I'm getting so jumbled with my thoughts here. They're coming so fast is what I'm getting at. It's like a newborn for you, and this baby you have been nurturing is what I'm getting at, and you want to do something new to educate the baby or to help it grow, and that's the growth of you, so that in a subconscious way or an internal way, knowing that you can go out and actually do it by yourself. There's something about that, about getting the reassurance or the experience you need, or again, that reassurance or that acknowledgement or respect needed, so that, again, everybody has that to some degree, large or small, when it comes to the acceptance of people we respect and look up to. and sometimes that weighs a lot more than our own willpower in moments or in certain areas or in certain aspects or talents of ours. And there's nothing to be ashamed of there, but their spirits for like reinforcing, like you're here already, like you are in the midst of this success. Please take it in. Interesting. So don't be afraid of it, is in other words. Easier said than done. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Afraid that all your hard work won't pay off, that it will get thwarted, that you're just being naive, that it won't work, that you're too young, inexperienced, that you might be too patient, that you might be like too premature in what you're trying to do. It could be very much your fear here. Let's see the emotions. Cheerfulness. This is so interesting. I'm telling you, like you're afraid to succeed in some degree on your own. I don't know why they keep saying on your own, because it's like sorrow, and then there's joy, and then there's waiting, and then there's some cheerful. It's like you keep teeter-tottering, and it's almost like you won't accept this. And Spirit's like, can you celebrate this? Like three people, you alone, you alone. It's interesting. It's like the people. Okay, let me calm down here, Lotus. So what I'm getting at, my beautiful, yes, you are very close to this dream, this goal. I feel like you're already in it. I feel like you're living it, or at the beginning, or the precipice of it, or in the beginning stages of, maybe that baby references it. It's this new beginning, like you're in it. And I feel like you might be looking for something else, or might be assuming that it might be coming in a different way, or you need something for you to feel like it's here. I'm not sure what that is. And again, I keep thinking that it has something more to do with acknowledgement, respect, being seen, some sort of accolade. That's what it feels like the most heavily. But again, this can be out however it is. But we're talking about foundations, possessions, heritage, inheritance. The fundamentals of you, right? And I talked about uprooting here when it comes to where you're going and that joy that it's eventually going to bring. Your aspirations here about wanting to be seen, about accelerating, about creating a success, and still waiting for it in some way. But again, Spirit keeps saying like it's here, but you're waiting for something else. And that something else feels maybe tied to some of the fear of feeling like, when is the shoe going to drop? This is too good to be true. Do not taint this joy. Be present in the feeling of where you are now. Okay, let's see your true desires. We have great exceeding. Yep, it is definitely so. The ridgepole warps, fruitful to have a direction to go, creating success. Number 28. When you exceed something, you cross over a line and make a transition. Holy moly, guys. Pile 1. This brings stress, but also a greatness of spirit and purpose beyond the scope of the situation. Things cannot hold up as they are, like the ridgepole of the traditional Chinese house. So there must be movement. Reach out imaginatively and explore. What is overloaded? What have you outgrown? What must you do? And you are fighting this change that you're doing, that you want to do, that Spirit's asking you to do, that you're being called to do, that you're gifted at doing. And I don't necessarily feel like it's for everybody, like an actual physical resistance of it, but it can be. For some of you guys, it's like an internal resistance to believe in you wholeheartedly, without doubt. I just heard for some like you believed in your father. Wow, that was very specific for somebody. Wow. So that is your truest desire. Again, great exceeding. This is what you want, and you know that movement needs to happen for this to occur. Wow. Okay, let's see your tarot. We have the Four of Swords. They said they said patience and strategy. So your truest desires are, and what I'm feeling is like you have either put them on pause or on hold for a bit, but they have never brought me to the bird in this card like so clearly before. I don't know if you can see that little guy. And it's like standing on that truth, and it's like, when will you speak it? Are you ready to speak it now? Have you healed some of the sorrow in you? Or when you heal some of the sorrow in you, you'll be able to speak it up, speak it out, and bring it into movement, into form, bring it into the wind, you know? But it's interesting because I love the artwork in this mountain tarot, because the images feel like they move for me in general, like because of the artwork. And I feel like I just saw him about to like get up, like he was about to stand up and walk through this space right here. And where is that looking at? At the waiting. And the looking at the waiting is ready to be seen, ready to come out of hiding, advancing, as they said, you know, with this great exceeding. It's ready, it's time. The birds come a chirping. Okay, some of the emotions, the wife. Truest desires, huh? Are you afraid? Sorry if my voice feels a little bit far back. I'm sitting back to look at this. Are you afraid to break a type of traditional mold of the matriarch? Are you afraid not to be a good mother, that they'll take up some of your time? Are you afraid that you won't find a partner because of your work ethic? Are you afraid for your mother? There is something about, maybe that's the person's permission you're waiting for subconsciously. There's very many energies that could play out. It could be truest desire of literally just wanting to be a wife, you know, and being burdened with this responsibility of this quote unquote legacy, and not wanting that, or waiting for when you can actually step out of that role or step into it in a different way. There are so many extra layers that this could go into, and I wasn't going to take extra cards, but I might if the guidance at the end doesn't clarify everything for me. But your truest desires, you want to exceed, and you want to, I feel like it's more like you want to have it all. Like you want to have a successful home, family life. You want to be married, you want to have children probably, maybe not necessarily married, but I've partnered, you know, coupled. You want to have a successful business. You want to honor the legacy also. I still feel that. I still feel like you want to honor it, but it's just not in the way that it's been done or the way that it's been operating. As they've been saying, like something needs to shift. And you are technically that rift, that wedge. You're being placed there on purpose, Spirit is saying. Let's see what the secret of the search is for this beautiful dream of yours. Clarity. Yeah. Excuse me. Constancy bears fruit, creating success, raising female cattle for good fortune. It says, nurture your capacity to see and nourish new insights. Flashes of meaning bring clarity and lasting awareness, enabling you to see signs and messages all around you. Female cattle represents the reserves of strength that sustain mindfulness, along with a quiet willingness for the power to be used and guided. What do you see? What does it mean? How can you nourish and sustain a high level of awareness? That is the secret of the search. How can you maintain, nourish, and sustain a high level of awareness? Nourish your capacity to see new insights. And I think that's what they're asking you to do, is just look at it differently. Can you change your perspective on this? Can you look at it again from a different place? What place? Page of Cups. Of innocence, one from the heart. One from newness, one from fresh beginnings, one from an open heart chakra. And then pleasure seeking. I'm telling you. They're just like, please enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. They keep saying it, enjoy it. Take it. It's a gift. And you have so many people cards, like so many. Like they're all generally people cards, but still there's like a lot of people. It's like, I can't, again, single, but not single, alone with people, waiting with a child, people, people. And they're all in threes, 3, 3, 3. So again, there's so many layers to this right now. So yes, I do feel like you're in your goal. I feel like you're close to your goal. I feel like you're living it currently. Again, if everybody's goal has in my opinion, an arc of some kind, and I feel like you're at the beginning stages of this goal, this ultimate goal. So yes, you're there, you're on it. You know, it hasn't fully completed, but you're in it and on it. But there is a definite, I can understand this sorrow energy here. And you have to explain this, how this like sits for you, because I'm getting a multitude of different scenarios. All right, let's get into your guidance now. Back to the start, where you stand. We were talking about that Emperor energy. What did it say? Great possessions. That's right. Great possessions. You know, back to this ᴜᴜᴜ energy. But there's some sorrow around this. But you're building your foundation. You're doing it. What do they got to say? Deep dive. Diving into a task. Yeah. I'm telling you, like you're in it. Like there's no other way to say it. Like you're in it. You're in that deep dive right now. You're in the task. You are accomplishing. You're on the path. You're in the goal. Like the dream is here. You just have to see it and celebrate where you are. It's about presence for you. Where you're going. Hollow bone. Teachability. This is it. This is a teachable moment. Can you be the student right now and learn from this particular feeling or this experience, or however it is that you're processing this information or this gift or this abundance or this influx of whatever is happening in your life? Can you receive this gift is what they're saying. We have been trying to whisper this to you for a while. They just said you cannot ignore anymore. Yeah, this is so interesting. Woo! Sorry, excuse me, guys. This is so interesting. I was literally just I was literally just honing in on this horn that the skull is blowing in. And I heard the sound of a wah, and then my fridge makes that sound also. And it just came on, I heard wah, then my fridge went wah, and then I just dropped that thing that went boom. Like, so like it's sound, like there's no, like they're communicating to you through wind instruments, sound, music, literally the wind. Bones. That kind of divination might be significant for you also. Interesting. Wow. And you have 2 10s right here. It's ready. It's here for you, my friend. Your aspirations. Dances on one foot. The balancing act. The beautiful ballerina. And this is the waiting, right? Speaking as a dancer, and knowing how difficult ballet is in particular to execute effortlessly and make it look easy. It is a balancing act, and there's a balancing in particular of the mind and body, of also fighting your own physical restrictions and tiredness, of continuously strengthening and getting more flexible, strengthening and getting more flexible, finding artistry within the technique. You know, all of this is a balancing act, and maybe that's what's asked of you in this particular waiting time that you might be feeling the sorrow energy. Can they just asking you, can you balance out how much of that is taking up in your time, and celebrate, dance, I'm actually feeling for you to get off balance a little bit, to enjoy that off-kilterness, to flutter your wings and prance. That's what I feel. And you want to spread your wings and be seen and let go of that. So allow it. See your fears. Me talks. Repairing the body, mind, and spirit. 39. I feel like they're really talking to you today, my love, about truly giving you guidance on how to deal with the fear. The fear of not being enough, of being too premature, of wasted effort. It's you. How are you repairing your body? About giving yourself some time, going after the things and wants that you might desire. How are you feeding your thoughts? What are you thinking about this? Why are you in this sorrow energy? Are you feeding it with positive affirmations and just positive thoughts about you? How have you been listening or not listening to your ancestors, spirit guides, your own intuition? Have you been pampering yourself enough to come back into the self and to reclaim your own energy, to trust yourself? I think that's what they're really talking about here. Lovely. Let's see your true desires. In the hand. Yep. The universe is your partner. Number 31. Absolutely. Speaking of reaching out to spirit, it's like you want to create. Like I'm really getting that's the main energy. I want to create something that has my touch on it. That I can say I did that. I helped with that. That was our creation. The universe is here to help you and guide you with that. Reach out. They just said, reach out and touch faith. That's what it feels like. And that's your true desire, is to create with spirit, to co-create with spirit, to co-create with whomever or whatever this might involve. It's lovely. Okay, let's see the secret behind the search. Cosmic womb. Get it. The divine feminine. It's to be in that receptive energy and embrace the now, like I said. Cheerful, joyful, receptive, stillness. That emotional intelligence and wisdom, that psychic insight. Like you're there. Like you are already in the hand of the universe, partnered up, in the divine womb, cocooned and ready to be birthed. Like you're here, my loves, you're here. You're in it. See it now. See it, appreciate where you are, and know that you are on the right track and moving exactly as Spirit wants you to. Love this. As we said, we have Athalia. We have Nauthiz, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Conflict, confusion, and patience. Interesting. And then we have Hagalaz, disruption, testing, controlled crisis. So if we're talking about all this, you can't probably see these, hey, very well. Does that help? A little bit? Okay, great. So what I'm getting here, my beautiful, if we're talking about this inheritance, this foundation, this legacy, so to speak, this constraint and confusion and disruption, this is in the mind, and whatever this is happening, which is all that we've talked about. And this Hagalaz with the disruption, but it's a controlled crisis. It's a testing. It's a testing for you, and it's a test. Will you take this gift? Will you honor this particular path? And I feel like you did. You've already dived into the task. Like you're in it, is what I'm trying to say. Like it's here. So Spirit's just like, please keep pushing through regardless of what's happening on the outside. This is a controlled crisis. We are here. Right now the crisis for me feels like it's in the mind for you. and not in anything else. And that's what they just want you to take some more time and love, some more meditation to balance out the mind and the heart, some me time. You know, that's what's necessary for you right now. Because you've been doing the work and you are on track, my lovelies. Oh my goodness, my pile one. I hope that was helpful in giving you some a peek into how close you are to your goal and what you might need to consider now as you are this close. In particular, as I said, you're in it. I'm sending you so much love, my beauties. Keep watering your lives. Until next time, ciao. Welcome, my pal 2, who chose algaes. As I said, this is going to be a part of your guidance as you continue towards your dream. And algaes talks about protection, guardians, status quo. Your first position over here is going to let us know where you stand now. It says, not yet across, number 64. Creating success, the small fox almost across, soaks its tail, no direction bears fruit. At the end of the I Ching, nothing is complete, everything is in flux. A wise fox will only attempt to cross when the river is solid ice, and then treading carefully, every sense alert. When you are not yet across, you may be hesitating on the verge of a transition, sensing if it's safe to commit yourself. Use the skills of the wise fox. How to prepare for the crossing. How will you know when it's time? So from this over here, I am definitely getting that you're not yet there, but you're about to cross the threshold, in other words. There's a lot of this energy of being really close, you know, and for you, I feel like you're literally, if we're going to use the same example of crossing the river, the solid ice, like you're at the river deciding on what do I use, how do I go across, what do I take, what needs to stay behind, what's too much weight. You know, I think you're sort of like weeding out the things so that you can have some more clarity on how to get towards this dream, this goal, this dream goal. Let's see the tarot. Ace of Cups. Yeah. Talk about the dream, right? And speaking about water. Yeah, it does feel this beautiful energy of a dream, like we talked about, but something that's really emotionally fulfilling, something that might be really new for you to do, or something that you're venturing off into that is emotionally new for you, or just not necessarily new for you doing, but like doing it in this particular way, or doing it by yourself, or doing it with one other person. But it's like you're almost there. Like you're again, just figuring out, how do I do this? How do I get across? Weeding things out, taking what I only need, love-based energy, some of the emotion behind it. Money. Money might be a factor. You might be building up some more of your resources at the moment. You might be trying to create some more wealth to up your status quo. Nice. Okay. Lovely. It feels, yeah, like you're on the right track regardless. I definitely think you're pretty much, like I said, at the threshold, at the precipice of stepping onto this river. And it may have something to do with, again, status quo, protecting the status quo, leveling up in some way, guarding what you've created. Again, letting go of what what you can no longer take across with you. Amazing. Where are you going? Waiting. Interesting. So you're waiting. You're still not there yet. Yeah. With truth and confidence, shining out, creating success. Constancy brings good fortune. Fruitful to cross the great river. Waiting for what you need. Bring yourself into harmony with the desired outcome. It may take longer than you imagine. Faith and patience are your allies. But fully present in waiting, your attention shines and starts a creative engagement with the world. You are committing yourself to its manifestations. How can you wait patiently with commitment? While you wait, how can you best make yourself ready? That's exactly what this is. That's what we talked about. It's where you are, where you're going, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get there? What's the best way for me to cross this particular river? What do I need to take? What do I need to let go of? Let me use this waiting time properly. Beautiful. The tarot. Wheel of Fortune. Amazing. Where you're going. It's beautiful. You just got to wait it out for a bit, my loves. And it's, again, active waiting is what I usually call it, but conscious waiting. How are you using the time while you're waiting? Yeah, this is all moving in your favor. It's lovely. It feels very light. It's easy for me to feel your energy. 𴑀1, there was a lot of underlying layers and multiple storylines. This one feels very clear, you know, and or you are becoming clear, and that's the reason why I feel clear. Okay, let's get some of the emotions behind it. Soldier, yeah, you're fighting for it, you're battling for it, you're going after it, you're doing what's necessary, you know, in this waiting time. They just said you're allowing yourself to be led by spirit. They said that you are a good soldier in that sense. That's awesome. Okay, let's see what your aspirations are. I love that. So it's very tied in with where you are and where you're going. It's very in line. Like I said, on track. The wheel is moving in your favor. Let's see your aspirations. Subtly penetrating. Cool. Creating small success. Fruitful to have a direction to go. Fruitful to see the great person. Subtle penetrating means becoming part of something or someone, feeling your way into things, yielding gently to their nature. Such influence does not bring sudden transformations. It creates small successes. Have a clear vision of the great person in reality or in your mind's eye as a model of the larger possibilities implied. Again, this is so clear for you. This is what we talked about, creating clarity, figuring this out. Sort of also creating clarity within yourself and in your vision, penetrating with what you want to create. How do I get across? What's the right ingredients, again, for me to cross this river, for me to see my full potential, for me to cross that into my full potential? How can you get to know this from the inside? What is taking shape? That is all you. I don't even want to pretend to try to answer that for you, but that's what your aspirations are. It's like to build whatever this is for you, whatever this goal is for you, whatever this growth is for you. It's right now, it's about creating the clarity so the vision is clear. Creating the space for clarity for the vision to be clear. Tarot, 3 of Swords in the reverse. Nice. They're saying to me, hold on. There is a caution learned from past experiences when it comes to emotional vulnerability and how much truths are expressed or revealed. Some of what you are leaving behind as you cross this river can have to do with a learned characteristic or personality trait that was there to shield and protect you from further harm to the heart, to the mind, to the soul. You have elevated and graduated from that energy and healed that particular trigger point. Therefore, you no longer need that particular backpack. I just saw you take it off. That is part of the weight you are leaving behind. The aspirations to no longer be in connections that are not truthful, that are not transparent, that are not love-based, that are based in mind games. Your aspiration is to be a healed human moving through this experience through love, connecting to all. And you will accomplish this. Ooh, that was a direct channel for you guys, felt too. Wow. They also just said you're subtly going to be penetrating through the hearts of many. They brought me back to the Ace of Cups. Your love overflows. You know how to fill up your own cup, your own wealth, your own abundance. Sustainability gained through your own inherent resources is how they're wording it. Interesting. Let's see some of the emotions. Room. I do really feel like it has, when I said leave space and leave room for clarity, and I think that's what this is. This aspiration is, I gave myself space. I stepped away. I know how to heal properly. I don't have to involve myself in following or doing things outside of my own choices. And I think spirits bring me back to the comment that they said, you are a good soldier in that way. That's why they said it. In that way, this is a compliment. Sometimes soldiering is following blindly or without all of the information, and you end up creating karma, not necessarily good karma, because we were not fully integral in our belief and or we're following blindly. And that might have been a certain thing that, was a part of your past, and part of that heartache, part of that hurt. But now you're using the soldier energy in the night in a great way, because you're fighting for spirit now, and you've done the work to heal. And so that aspiration now is that I'm going to create my success, no matter how small or slow it starts off, or how opposite it might be from the person I may have been before. I've thought about this. I've talked about this. I've healed this too. So I know what I'm doing. Again, creating more clarity. I love this for you, pal, too. Let's see some of your fears. Nearing, number 19. It says, creating success from the source, constancy bears fruit, arrival at the 8th month means a pitfall. The greater spirit draws nearer in an ongoing process of growth as you simultaneously pay attention and take responsibility. Exactly. Harvest happens during the 8th month, but it isn't the end of the process of growth. So the 8th month from when you're watching this can be really significant when it comes to you fully crossing this river, or at least stepping onto the river now, because we're in front of it at the shoreline. And or August can be significant. The number 8 really thinks about, for me, infinity. Also thinks about reincarnation and karma, destined things, the yin yang. Stay present to the ongoing cycle and do not focus on results. How does this want to grow? How can you take responsibility for its development? What would your greater self do? This is all talking about patience for you. And I feel like that if there is any fear lingering on or lingering around, I feel like you need to, I feel like you're like putting that to the side. This is what is being cleared out, what you're letting go of. And like the 8th month, arrival of the 8th month, there's like this beautiful acknowledgement or readiness, I should say, more likely, this readiness to really confidently step forward and knowing that this is just the beginning of the process, but this is like a big step and it's very close. It's nearing. What are we in right now when I'm filming this? December. So yeah, the 8th month still can be very significant, or like I said, whenever you watch this. All right, lovely. Let's see your tarot. The 7 of Swords, your fears. Yeah, your fear that, you might get swindled or duped somehow, or they just said like people taking credit for your work in some way. Not having the right strategy, or feeling naive, or missing the big picture. Maybe it's even your fear of not getting there, or not being able to actually take that step. Self-sabotage can also be a fear. I also feel that Spirit may be giving you like a mini heads up to be like, when you do, because they said like the 8th month, there's this like influx, but it's not the end of the journey. Maybe they're just warning you, not warning you, just cautioning you to not get too get too excited about that. Just keep moving. And if that is a self-sabotage type of energy of where you're like, yay, I got there, and then you just stop doing the work, in other words, that's when I feel like some of the strategy won't be the best idea. I think that's it for that. Energy is what I'm feeling the most. So let's see some of the emotion. Despair. Wow, this is a drastic card. Relax. Relax here. But yeah, it's like thievery, somebody taking your shit, pardon my language, you know, like you feeling like you can't get there, that it's almost here, and you just like give up just before the end, you know, like at the 12th hour, you give up. On the 11th hour, I should say, sorry, you give up. You know, like that's what they're addressing. If that has been a fear of yours, it has been creeping up. They're like, don't despair, my lovely. You keep pushing forward and you keep doing what you've been doing, and you continue to do the healing work that you have done on yourself. Whenever you start to slip, or whenever your mind starts to slip, remember what you did here to heal. Come back to that energy, to that self, to that room inside. Do not fear this. Okay, let's see your true desires. 1, nice, creative force. From the source, creating success, constancy bears fruit. Pure creative spirit flows through people and events, and inspiration wants to be realized and move towards manifestation. Welcome its momentum and find ways to work with this vital energy. Sustain a constant two-way flow between source and action. Be true to your initial intent and align your choices with this original vision to yield positive results. How can you liberate creative energy? What wants to be created? Exactly. How can you liberate this creative energy? And that's what you're doing. You're in the process of, quite literally now, doing this creative force, answering that, following it, trusting it. 6 of Swords in the reverse. There's something that you're still holding on to, and they said it's a mental emotional thing. It can have something to do with this over here, or it can just be residuals of what has already happened, that it's not necessarily like a heavy thing. But when it comes to your true desires, there might be something that you're trying to prove to somebody in some way. That's why you want to stay where you are to some degree. And or it can have something to do with wanting to finish what you've started, or to gain some sort of growth where you began it, instead of having to go to another country to gain success before they acknowledge you in your own country. That happens a lot with art, you know? So it's that kind of energy. But I feel like your true desire is to sort of like do it where you are, is to create it from where you are, is to not run away from this within you anymore, is to address it, to see oneself and to honor it. I love that. And then enemy, wow. Yeah, it's like I said, like to prove it to somebody, like you didn't win. You didn't win over me. I didn't have to run away from you, or it, or whatever it is. That's the truest desire. It's like, I'm going to do it here, right here, so that whatever this energy was that created some of this hurt or this upheaval in your life, or that was a cause or a trigger or the event, whatever that is, that's who you're sort of proving this to, that truest desire. I'm going to prove it to that person. Spirit is saying, you will, but right now they want you more to focus on you, on the healing, because it's like they're giving me that saying, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher it, like, he will give you your rewards in front of the people who were your enemies. It's that kind of energy. And you don't have to like wish for it, so to speak. It's gonna happen. It's a part of the karmic wheel, that wheel of fortune. So why they want you just to forget for now about that focus and focus on the you, on what you're letting go of, what needs to be cleared out so you can cross this river. I love that. Yes. Let's see the secret of the search. Brightness hidden. Ooh, love it. Constancy in hardship bears fruit. Yes. Consistency in the hardship. This is exactly it. Since others do not share your standards of insights, it's dangerous to let the light of your character shine freely. Perhaps you have been injured, or perhaps you fear injury. Look at this. I'm telling you. Searching for a stronger position in this situation is not an option. Instead, stay true to the light and keep it burning by hiding it away. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like you're going to do it on your own, so don't need to prove it to them. You will shine, and when that time is shining, they will be present and they will see it. It doesn't have to be literally in front of you, but they will see it, is what I'm getting, like heavily, and they are reinforcing that with the secret of the search. You don't need to put your focus on that, just keep it on you. When no one is looking, who are you? How do you safeguard that light? That's it. The secret of the search. Safeguard the light until it's ready. Until you're ready to, and then you're actually crossing. Speak of it to no one is what I heard. To no one. I was going to say even to somebody, like, no, to no one. Okay. All right. So your tarot is judgment. Yes, my friend. Yes. I feel vindicated for you. Literally in this energy, I felt like this roar, like that animal, like, fuck yeah. I'm sorry for my language. I want to swear so badly. Like, it's that, like, scream it, like, yes. It's that resurrection of the self, you know, like at the right time. I'm hiding my light, well, hiding this healing, hiding all the work I've done, you know, letting go of this stuff. So when I come out across the other side, you guys are going to be blinded by my shine. All you haters, all the people who hurt me on purpose, in particular, you know, is what they're saying. Wow, Judgment Day has come. So when it comes to you being on track, or excuse me, you being how close you are to your goal, like I said, you were at the shoreline of this particular goal. And in this process, we're not getting any timing. I didn't want to do timing. I just want to focus on this. But they did give you a timing, actually. What am I saying? They gave you like the 8th month, right? So from wherever you watch this, it feels like within this 8th month period, or 8th, whatever, however much time it takes, this is what's being cultivated. This is what you're learning about yourself, or releasing, or recognizing, or understanding, etc., etc., etc. The secret of the search of what this goal is here is to let go of this energy of the truest desires in some regard, besides the creative force. You know, to let go of that energy of wanting it to prove to them when Spirit's already going to give that to you. So there's no need to put any effort or energy or thought on them. Don't give them anymore. Put it on you. We will put them in your eye line and in your sight when it's ready. I love it. Ooh, that's a great. Ooh, I love it. Service. My goodness, I got 2 things. Oh man, I can relate to this so heavy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'm getting first is the secret of your search is to be of service to yourself. Service to spirit, which is what you're doing, and that's why they gave that comment of the good soldier in that sense. Absolutely. Another thing, which is what I'm going to talk about here, is the service. A little story to give you. One of my first very big professional theater dance gigs. I got hired to do a very well-known production, and I was one of the many other dancers, but probably one of the newest ones for the cast, you know. That show had a lot of injuries because of the stage and a whole bunch of other stuff. Long story short, there was a lot of jealousy and animosity towards me in this particular dynamic with this particular one person. And she was technically our dance captain, you know, at the time. So I would get corrections, like, so for if you don't know, in the theater production, anytime that you go and pay for a musical theater show, there is a thing called traffic, like it's your track. So if you fall out of line, even backstage, you can hit somebody, interrupt the flow, and it will fuck up the show, quite literally. So you need to know your track, quite literally, like moving cars. That being said, that is one of the most important things. As a seasoned dancer as I was, the corrections I was given were fix your arms when people were literally in the wrong track. This is what I'm trying to get at. She was so adamant about just trying to correct or say something to me, you know? Again, ending of this thing was I ended up getting suspended from this union. It was my first theater gig. I was like 20, I didn't know shit. So had to fight with the president. They were like, I'm so sad that they did this to you because they're just trying to use you as an example. Like, there were so many people talking shit about me. Like, it prevented me from doing furthering theater. Like I said, no more. I was like, and then I went to the commercial route. Like, it's not a joke. Like, it literally changed the direction of my career because of these personalities. I'm like, if this is how theater people are going to be, F you. Like, I'm done with all you. All you guys are toxic, and this energy that I don't want to feed. I did not want to feed. This was just one of many things that happened, okay? This is what this energy feels like. And now there is a particular job that I've recently been hired for. Thank you, Spirit. Where she has to listen to me. I haven't seen this woman in 20 years. Guy, when I found out, I was like, holy no way. I had to tell my brother right away. Like, this is the energy that I'm getting. It's like they are now gonna be at your service. It's they are somehow below you now in some regard, that they have to answer to you. It's that's the energy. It may not be that kind of example, but this is what it feels like. There's, again, back to the status quo. You have leveled up in some way, and now whoever or whatever this was is somehow in some sort of hierarchy below you now. And I feel like spiritually for sure, but just legitimately on this 3D plane, even karmically, like, they went down a couple notches. And it's not to say that they're not successful in their own right, that they're not creating their own life. That's not what I'm getting at all. It's just like the placement of where the power has shifted in some regard it's giving back to me now 20 years later, just so you know. So, and again, speaking of 20, the judgment, this is very possibly a very similar scenario for you, timing wise, you know? The time is right for you. Wow, pal, too. This is cool. Okay. So I definitely think you're close to your dream, on track. Just certain things that you need to remember about, you know, your mental state or your emotional state, certain particular triggers. Remembering what you did to heal and come into center and recalibrate the self. Just keep those tools and practices up. Amazing. So we have your guidance, and we're going to take one for each position. So where you stand. Fool's embrace. Transmuting pain. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like, I feel like this is like the bulk of it's done, but again, the rest of this 8 months is the lingering. It's the residual. It's what I'm feeling here. And it's so pretty. Sorry, like there's an energy what I get from this fool's embrace. It's like that. For lack of a better example, it's that young love that jumps in wholeheartedly and innocently to something, to somebody or the attraction, but that particular person isn't really as invested, but they play the game well. And you feel like it's sort of like this energy anyways, feels like you feel like you may have been fooled by trusting, by being vulnerable, which is that channeling. I have no idea what was said here. I do not remember at all. But they're bringing me back to whatever was channeled here has to do with this energy, and where you are when it comes to the guidance of you are transmuting this pain now, and you have done a great job so far. And that's why they're saying just remember what you learned on how to get out of this funk or this feeling, or to heal the self, to heal the soul, to heal the heart, to heal the mind. Where you're going, mindful, groupthink. They're saying to me two things. There's like one, you're getting out of the mindful group, you're getting out of the group think and becoming more mindful about you. Like there's a blossoming within you that's removing yourself from the mind think. And I think some of that had been affecting the way that you saw yourself and the way that you operated in certain scenarios. I also do feel, though, that they're also talking about the group think with spirit. This whole Wheel of Fortune energy, that soldiering, that good soldier with spirit, to spirit, that's where the groupthink is now being focused on, as opposed to the external. It is very internal groupthink. I'm not sure if you heard that. I think you got cut off a little bit. But it's beautiful. They just said it's the key to your happiness. The beginnings of the unfolding of your dream. The time has come to pick the fruit. And create as many sweet dishes as possible. That's so lovely. Father just said, I see you. I see you. Oh, that's so nice. Felt too. That just gave me goosebumps. Ooh, I love it. I don't want to come out of that energy. Let's stay here for a bit. Okay, your aspirations. That's lovely. Oh, wow. Straddling worlds. Wandering between realms. Again, right? This healing, this penetrating gently, this moving back and forth, penetrating between the spiritual and the internal. You know, the connecting, the spiritual connection, the healing that has already occurred. They asked me to read the beginning passage of this book, of the messages for you for this one. That's interesting. Being comfortable in two states, wandering between realms, reinvention. They said this paragraph. Okay. Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, invisible to others. Yes, like we said, do it. Yep, no one. Tell no one. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Make sure you are not just a slightly improved and more polished version of a dated and obsolete you. Birth yourself into someone original. Woo! Do not feel like you have to explain yourself or to be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. Yes! Thank you, Spirit, for making me read that, because woo! Part two, like, I'm so excited for you. Oh, that's so freaking well deserved. Fuck yeah, man. Jeez, good. Okay, your fears, guidance, dragon's horde, protecting the future. That's right, and that talks about that status quo and protecting your own future. You know, not sabotaging, not being distracted by the outside, and you're being gifted with this, you know, of these beautiful jewels, and you're being gifted to protect it. This protection energy, protecting your own personal legacy, what you'd like to do, protecting your mind. You know, protecting their future dreams. And that is protecting you. So as this is nearing, as the fears might creep up every once in a while, remember, you are transmuting. Remember they are here. Remember what you're creating and what you're protecting. Oh, it's so good. Your true desire, Moon Maiden. Look at this. New beginnings. Do they have to tell you any more ways, pile two? Do you hear them? Do you hear them? New beginnings. This emotional new beginning. Again, back to that Ace of Cups. The surrendering of the old and baptized anew. They just said it's a moon bath. It's a marvelous night for a moon dance. Not a moon bath, but it feels the same way. Oh wow, they're just giving me the whole song for a second. There might be the lyrics in there might be significant for you and somehow. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Oh, so maybe there's some energies that might actually, or maybe you want actually some energies to come back. We do know this. What am I saying? We already know this. We already know that Spirit already told you this, that you're going to be showing them, they're going to be in your presence while this glow up, whatever happens for you. And this is what this is. What a marvelous night for a moon dance. It's like, I get to shine now. You know, it's like I'm the one here and they're the ones looking for your attention. Oh, this is good. This is such a good, like, payback. It's like the best way you can pay back. You know, when they say the best payback is happiness, you're living it now. You're living it now, and they get to see it straight front center. Ooh, secret to the search. First breath. Look at this, beginner's mind. I'm telling you. They gave you every single way that they could tell you, new beginning, new beginning, new beginning, new beginning. Every way they could tell you in all the cards that I used today. The first breath of your new life, they just said. They just showed me to the mirroring numbers of the protecting the future, the beginner's mind. the spiritual evolution, the spiritual growth, the stability within self, the infinity of this reincarnation of yourself, the changes that are happening within. It is your first breath into a new book, as they said here, a new book. That's a mic drop. That's my crystal drop. Boom. You know, like I am so happy for you. Frig. I needed this. Thank you. So let's see what your guidance is as you continue to move towards this beautiful goal of yours. Oh yeah, I said I was going to put this over here because we can't see them. So your first guy, which is Algiz, then we have Radio, which talks about journeying, traveling, relocating. Again, journeying within self. Again, crossing the river to relocate. Maybe, again, we talked about that relocating, but maybe you're not relocating for real until after. But I do feel more this is like a journeying within self, a relocation, a recalibration of self. And then we have, oh yeah, we do. Then we have thoracis, catharsis, change, cleansing. My friend, you are protected and building up your status quo. You are guarded and you are being guided on this journey within, this traveling within, for you to clear out, like we said, cleanse and release and transmute all of this pain. You are in the journey already. You are at the precipice of really beginning and stepping into this dream, into this goal, into materializing it, into being it, into living it. It's amazing, and I feel so good, especially because I didn't get the pain of when this initially happened. I got the pain of you healed from this Three of Swords. So it's like that you're good. It's like when you finish having a cold, you know, or something, and there's still some things linger, but you feel good. You know, like you're fine, but there's still things that are still needing to be cleansed out of you. That's sort of the energy that I'm getting. My beautiful collective, I hope this gave you the answers and the peek into how close you are to your dream goal, or your goal. And I am sending you so much love, and I'm very proud of you. Until next time, please keep honoring your lives. Ciao. Welcome my pile 3 who chose Uras with physical strength, potency, and vitality. So my beautiful collective, let's see how close you are to your goal, dream, or dream goal. This is where you stand now. It says, The Well, number 48. Moving the city, not moving the well, without loss, without gain. They come and go, the well wells, almost reaching, but the rope does not yet draw water from the well, breaking one's clay jug, pitfall. The well or source is independent. You cannot lose it, nor can you grasp onto it. People and experiences come and go. Time passes. The well is always the well. Never doubt that you have the resources, or that they are enough. The potential in the situation is undeniable, but it may still be a long way from realization. What is the ever-present resource you draw from? What can you do to realize its potential here? So, my collective of pile 3, it feels like you're still a little bit of ways from your dream goal, or the goal that you're seeking or asking about today. It feels like there's still some work to be done, a remembrance of your actual resources and power, that you can actually accomplish this and get this goal, that there is an unending and independent source, from source literally, of energy and inspiration and guidance to tap into. So allow yourself to cultivate that, nurture that. Especially find that physical strength, the vitality, the potency of what it is that you're wanting to create, or whatever this goal is. Let's see your tarot. We have the 7 of Cups in the reverse. They said you're trying to gain clarity and release the distractions so that you can really better focus on, attaining the goal. They're talking about creating steps to get there. And they said steps of 3. Don't do any more than steps of 3. For example, if we're using the 7 cups as the example, and the seventh cup is the goal, or the beginning, or the desired, or the ultimate goal, they're saying, what are the first 3 steps that can get you to the 7th? And once those are completed, find the next 3 steps, and then you'll be there. You know, so they're asking you to separate it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Clarify for yourself. Release the confusion. Release the distractions. Come into oneness with Source and your mind. Let your intentions and your prayers be clear and heard. Candle magic or fire manifestations might be useful. They said you are on track, but you are now creating life force for the enough momentum and push to get this goal moving, going in the direction, sustainable in the direction that you're going. Beautiful. Let's get some emotions. Sweetheart. Okay, I'm getting 2 energies. The first energy I got was, in a sense, it's like letting go of some of the romanticism about the goal. It needs to be a little bit more realistic, idealistic, realistic, they keep saying. And not so sweet and sugar-coated. You might need to hear some constructive criticism for this to build and create better, stronger. They also said a sweetheart can be a factor in part of the confusion. I heard, will they be able to come along with this? Will they get this? Will this break us up? Am I being too naive about this? Are they the ones swaying me or distracting me or preventing me from getting to this goal? Because of a want for things not to change? Ooh, they said for some, for you to be dependent on their will. They just said there's a call to answer to the truth of you. What do you want for yourself in this scenario? This goal is ultimately for you and about you. Nobody else's opinions truly matter. They just said, so what are you waiting for? Wow, lots of songs. I heard, what you want, what you waiting for? I can't remember it. I don't know what it is. What you want, what you waiting for? I can't remember it either way, but that's what's coming up. It's like girl pop, alternative rock type of musician, guitar, electric guitar, scream singing at you. That's what I hear. Oh, beauty. Okay, let's see where you're going. Opposing, number 38. Small affairs, good fortune. You contain contradictory impulses within you or see a situation from 2 angles at once, perhaps as things are and as omens. If you can scale down matters to small affairs, like we said, into 3s, it is easier to give space to both visions, even using the opposing views as creative stimulus or challenge. What if the differences were not a threat? How could this tension be creative? If you can't see eye to eye, what can you see? Good question. So there may definitely be something about, an extra partner or external influences. It can be opposing views within self, trying to find that the physical strength to get through whatever it is that is giving you the confusion or the deception or even the distraction. So where you're going is trying to find clarity about whatever this sort of holdback is over here, or what's a part of the holdback. Ace of Wands in the reverse, that makes sense. There's like a lack of action because you're not really sure what to do because of these opposing energies. Either opposing energies within yourself or opposing energies with the people or this particular sweetheart of yours. It's like there is a want to do something, but like it feels like it's being muted and squashed is how they just said it. Let's see your emotion. Falseness. Damn. Okay. They said that you're going to be able, where you're going is, you're going to be able to see now who is the false light, or who are the false lights. Again, why they said squashing, why they've been dimming your light. It's this opposing thing. Whatever this opposing thing is, the false thing. That is what's keeping this Ace of Wands in the reverse. That's not allowing you to use your vitality in the direction, in the potency specifically that you want to create this goal. There's been a lot of falsities around you, and I feel like they've been feeding you. It's like, this is a drastic example. It's only because I've just watched this movie, Amsterdam, and this has been depicted in many movies, but this is the most recent in my brain. She's technically, you don't get the full story, but she's technically run away from her home, and she comes from a very affluent and well-to-do family, but she's a free-spirited artist and kind of like a very quirky, her character anyways. And to do her friends, one of her best friends, a favor, she has to go back to this life. And she says, like, as soon as I do this, you know that everything is going to change. And this will be the end of it, you know? And they're like, but it was a dire situation, or else, like, people's lives would have probably been over, kind of deal, right? So, but she gave a humongous sacrifice by going back there. So we find out later on that she all of a sudden has all these ailments, and she was like, again, this healthy, free-spirited, like living life fully, you know, ready to take on life and adventure, and very loving. And she all of a sudden has like vertigo and has like epilepsy and all these things all of a sudden. And then you find out later that she's been slowly being poisoned, you know, and then she gets out of that because her friends that she actually saved before serendipitously end up coming to her house, not knowing that it's her because she gave a different name. So it's this whole sort of like coincidental, but not, you know how serendipity works, energies of discovering the truth through real friends, you know, through real love, through people who really connect, who really cared about you, who really knew you, you know? And that was the storyline. But the energy that they're giving me here, it's that kind of energy that you've been slowly poisoned by these people, these thoughts, or even just the pushing down of, or the diminishing of your want. That's how they said it. The diminishing of your want. Like that, you know, for a shitty example again, like that house mother that has this beautiful artistic gift. Maybe it's just for baking, and she really aspires to open up her own shop one day, but the husband's like, you need to stay home and do this. Who's going to be cooking for me? Who's going to take care of this? I'm just giving you a shitty example, but just so that we know this archetype well is what I'm getting at. You know, where you've been repressed and you can't create your own separate life. You're only being pegged as one, which is, in this example, is the housewife. You're only allowed to be here. The woman's place is in the kitchen. That kind of energy. It's that feeling for me. And I don't think that it's necessarily those examples. I'm feeling it's that kind of repression is what I'm getting. And so where you're going now is discovering who these people are. Who are the false lights? Get it. What are your aspirations? Not knowing. That's cute. Okay, grading success. The first consultation speaks clearly. The second and third pollute the waters. Interesting. Polluted and hence not speaking. Constancy bears fruit. There has something to do with this here. I want to read that again. Sorry. It says the first consultation speaks clearly, which I feel like would be you being like, I want to do this, as the example. The second and third pollute the waters. Now there's the if, ands, or buts. The doubts come in. People's opinions come in. Starts to creep in. The light starts to dim. Polluted and hence, not speaking. No movement forward. No action. You know? But constancy bears fruit. So to be ignorant is a creative, harmonious way to engage with your world. That's perfect, because I feel this is like, you need to be ignorant to them, to their energies. Like, this is not going to affect me. I'm oblivious to this. You people cray. Like, that's what I feel from this phrasing. Don't go running after answers as if it is embarrassing not to know. It's not, right? Holding steadily to not knowing and hence to learning will bring good results. What don't you know? What if you didn't need to know all the answers now? How can you learn from your experience? So your aspirations right now, this is what you're learning right now. This is the reason why you're not at the goal yet or in that goal yet, but you're prepping for the goal, prepping to be ready to achieve and receive the goal is what they said. So your aspirations of not knowing entirely what that is, again, trying to figure out where this confusion is, where the deceit is, who the false lights are, who's been squashing my own wants, and that's created this not knowing within me because there's too many outside influences or too many external factors affecting my own judgment. Or maybe I've been a little blind or naive to, love and following certain personalities that I didn't find my own autonomy and strength. And now I'm finding it. 8 of Swords, yeah, in the mind. Yeah, because you don't know yet. Of course, this makes sense. You're still figuring it out, contemplating, but I do feel like you innately know who these people are, or who this person is. Who that is. It's just a matter of this Swords energy is a matter of you figuring out, how do I move forward now? Now knowing this, but not knowing how to move forward is what I get. And not knowing how to go into the goal. And I feel like it's what they're talking about is not needing to have a sense of knowing, but just moving based on instinct, on intuition, on your potency, on your vitality, on your physical strength. Your first rune, right? Your emotions, the messenger, yeah, listening to your own intuition, knowing exactly. It's just the knowing in you. That's what this aspiration is. You're waiting for this particular sign or insight or aha moment for you to really step forward. But Spirit's saying, like, there's something that needs to be addressed and talked about absolutely first. I feel like if it's not talked about, it's definitely addressed within yourself, regardless. And you're waiting, I feel, spiritually speaking, for that feeling, that sign, that confirmation, that interaction, that engagement to happen. And then I feel like the spark will be relit. Let's see your fears then. Sprouting. Maybe a fear of growth because of all the squashing. No shit. Every time you start to sprout, it just got stomped on. Freaking no wonder you're afraid to sprout. From the source, creating success, constancy bears fruit. Don't use this to have a direction to go. Fruitful to establish feudal lords, Like a plant putting out roots in all directions, the inner life reaches out into the world, experiencing resistance for the first time. The creative drive of heaven and earth joins together and grows, bursting with life and desire to fulfill. It's too early to limit possibilities, so strengthen your resolve and gather support, human or otherwise, to help expand your awareness and influence. That's your first rune, my love. What is beginning? Where is the growing center, and where can you find help for it? Where is the growing center? What do you actually want to do, lovely? Just you. What do you want to do? And don't be afraid to sprout. Because now that your intentions are going to be clear after this energy of really intentionally clearing out the light squashers, you'll be able to sprout without hesitation, without fear. The Hanged Man. The perspective change, the wisdom gained. Timing also is what I'm feeling. It's just a matter of time. And when, again, like we said, when this wisdom is gained, the sprouting can happen unencumbered. Beautiful. Your emotions, surprise, exactly. It'll be that surprise. It really does feel like that. Like, again, like the not knowing, it's like it'll just come when it's supposed to come. But the process and what your intentions are, what you need to focus on, which is that what's been squashed, like what light in you has been squashed. What do you actually want? Coming to clarity about that. Cutting out the people, like I said, who have been squashing your light. So again, you are not quite at that goal yet. You're prepping to be ready to receive this goal. Let's see your true desires. Blocked. Yeah. Well, this is fitting. Like not knowing, afraid to sprout. True desires is kind of blocked because of, like I said, people been blocking you. They've been squashing you. No joke. Blocking it, non-people. Noble one's constancy bears fruit. Great goes, small comes. Nothing moves or grows. Communication doesn't happen. Everything is negated and blocked. Perhaps other sabotage. Let me read this again. Nothing moves or grows. Communication doesn't happen. Everything is negated and blocked. Perhaps others sabotage progress with a negative influence or no empathy. Even your brilliant ideas and best efforts come to nothing. Instead, focus on the smaller details of your immediate reality. This is it, my friend. It's like working in the shadows or in quiet while you're like nipping out the light squashers. That's what we're just gonna call them. The light reapers. Let's call them that. I like that name better. The light reapers. They just gave me that. It's like, that's what it is. It's like you eventually end up like pulling out that thread that is messing up the tapestry. You know, it's like the wrong shape, the wrong line, the wrong color, you know, of this tapestry. And again, perhaps others sabotage progress with negative influence or no empathy. That's what I mean. This is exactly what I was feeling here. You've been blocked from your truest desires. So what work can you do when nothing is working? And who are you when no one is noticing? That's what they want you to build. That's what they want you to strengthen. That's where your vitality is, where your potency is, where your physical and natural essence is. Cultivate that. Yes. And then the 9 of Cups in the reverse. Holy cow. Like they keep telling you, like, you've been blocked from your dream, blocked from your wish, blocked from your desires. And you may not have even realized it. That's what I'm actually really getting. Like, I feel like you don't even know that these people are consciously sabotaging you. And you might have just been so much in this honeymoony sweetheart phase that, like, they're not going to do this to me. There's no way. When you find out it's like the person the closest to you that's actually squashing your progress. You know, like, as an example, they're just bringing me up so many random examples. Like somebody calling like, hey, I'm just going to call you Susie. Hey, is Susie available to do this? I love her flower arrangements. It's like, no. She's so busy. She needs her rest. Like, she's working with the kids, and what you're doing at home is nothing. And you don't even know about that call. Like, it's that kind of energy that you have no idea how much had actually been sabotaged because you weren't even privy to it, because they kept you in the dark. Whoa, this is heavy, Pal 2, Pal 3. When it comes to them, like, deliberateness of it, it's like heavy deliberateness. They are afraid of your shine. Like, hard. Yeah, that Lord, my friend, they are afraid of your power. That's the reason why they're doing this. They're like, you're going to be this Lord, and you will, and you're going to discover this. They just said 9 months. You're going to discover this within these 9 months. And so by the end of the year, you're stepping into your Lord energy. And these desires and wishes and wants, this whole, like, if we were to do this again, this reading again, in a year's time, you'd have a completely different vibe. Completely different. Like, I know this, I feel this, like, you're in the transformation and you're in the beginning stages of either it being shown to you, or you're going to recognize it, or it's just going to be presented to you and you're going to be like, holy shit, what the hell have I been missing? How did I not see this? It's that kind of energy. Wow. I'm excited though for you. This is going to be an interesting kind of roller coaster, but well worth the payout. Let's see what the secret is behind the search. Returning back to self is what I heard. Returning back to that true knowing. Creating success, going out, coming in without anxiety. Partners come, not a mistake. Turning around and returning on your path. Exactly. The 7th day comes, you return. Fruitful to have a direction to go. 7 might be significant. July might be significant. The 7th month from when you watch this might be significant. The 7th day. The number 7 really talks to me about spirituality, but this talks to me about after a week. Like, I really feel like after a week, and they bring me to this conversation or this realization. A week after the realization, maybe this sort of like epiphany comes, and then the progress starts to happen. It could be a week from when you see this. Who knows? Your journey leads you out and home again in a two-way flow of creation to revitalize and restore. Traveling companions walk alongside you for a while, but if meant to be there, They will never steer you off your path, especially with an overarching direction and purpose to guide you. Some people are going to get knocked off, and the right people are going to be coming in, and you're going to know that better. Better judge of character, they just said. What is beginning to germinate? How can you follow your sense of direction more closely? Where might the path lead you now? That's it. How do you follow your sense of direction more clearly? That's the real thing for your secret to your search, you know? And that's the search of the leading you out from yourself, which was, like I said, the external or the sweetheart or this energy, and coming back in, realizing the false lighters or the light reapers, you know, waiting for that epiphany or that aha moment, that realization or the proof of it in some way. And coming out, understanding why you had felt so blocked, you know, how unsure, squashed, halted, postponed, forgotten even. But Spirit's like, oh no, we didn't forget you. We've just been trying to get you out of this whatever energy you've been in, or connection you've been in, or mindset you've been in. And now you're ready to move. And so now the more of the signs are coming to you. They're coming quicker and more forceful, they said. The Knight of Wands in the reverse. They said this is good because they don't want you to move too fast within this energy. You have to take time to really get it. And it's going to take time to return fully back to the self and fully back into your power with confidence again, without the effects of this energy that has been on you for a very long time. It's like it's again with this life force energy, right? It's still in the reverse, but this is like, it's movement. It's a fast moving night, and it being in the reverse means that, to me, that there's still movement, but you're not going hasty. You're not going to it or approaching it hastily. You're cautious, observant, but ready. Emotions behind the friend. Ooh, they said a friend. I did feel like that, hey? Maybe not. I didn't say that. I do feel like a friend for you could be a part of this messenger. Like, who gives you a truth of what's been happening, or the random example I gave of like a friend calling, hey, is Susie available to do this? Being like, hey, by the way, are you good? Like, I heard you were really busy and you couldn't, whatever. She was, and they're like, what? What are you talking about? I never heard that. They're like, really? Like, it's that kind of, don't feel like anybody's like tattletaling on anybody. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like out of circumstance. It's just like having a conversation, and by chance you end up finding a truth that you didn't know. And that sheds light on, how many times has this person actually been doing this if I didn't know this? That's the energy I'm feeling. Get it, friend? I like you. Whoever you are, I like you. But interestingly enough, I had like this really small little tiny, I think it's like a dust bug or a little bug that came out of the wood that my stand is on, and I was like, where did you come from? And it feels like when I was talking about the friend, it's that kind of like energy. It's like this friend comes out of nowhere, or this person comes out of nowhere, and it's like you just discover something. That's exactly what it feels like. Anyway, put him back in the plant. So okay, so beautiful. So my beautiful collective of pile 3, we've talked about this. You are prepping for the goal. So it's not here yet. You're super close, but you're doing exactly what you need to get to your goal, period. Boom. Guidance for each position. Where you stand. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. Yes, my friend, lay of the land. Look at this champ on the top here. Look at it. Ready. Knows the lay of the land. Now this is what you're gaining. You're gaining clarity on the lay of the land, like what's been happening around you, what you've been missing, you know, who had been squashing your light. Like I said, they said read a passage from the book. They've only been doing this for a few people. Lay of the land, past lessons, being well informed, ancestral wisdom. Which part? They said right here. Okay. This is so you have a better understanding of the potentials and possible pitfalls on your journey. When you know the lay of the land, you are better able to fully experience what is being offered to you. This is a wonderful time to seek a mentor or good advice from an expert or an elder. That way you will be able to meet life's opportunities and challenges well informed. knowing you have the map. This is what this feels like for you, love. Yeah, like absolutely figuring out what's been going on. What's the distraction? What's the confusion? What's the deception? Who are the deceptors? Beautiful. Where you're going. Deep quiet. Lovely meditation and stillness. It's like, if you see this here, the hand tapping out, it's like, when I talked about the light reapers, it's like I can tap you and your light is so potent and this beautiful violet flame that it sort of explodes them with light. That's what they're showing me. It's like a tap, and I'm just seeing sparkles and embers, and that light reaper disappears. It's like you being able to point them out now is what creates this clarity, this release, this stillness within, so that you can fully, better, clearly see your lay of the land to get to your goal. This deep quiet within. Ooh, I love it. Love it. Your aspirations, the wall, obstacles, holy schmoles. Like, they said it so much, like there is this obstacle, we know this, until this is clear, but you can't get clear without addressing this and without understanding or recognizing where this is coming from. So right now, this area of aspiration is blocked because you don't really know how to move, where you want to go. 11 might be really significant for you. 11 and 7s. Anyway, but there is light. There is this tunnel. There is a light there. But again, when we're talking about clarity, you just have to figure this out first, and this obstacle will crumble. I wholeheartedly believe that. Your fears. Drifter. Interesting. Experiencing life as it comes. So they gave me 2 energies with this drifter energy. They're saying that you do not want to drift into oblivion. You don't want to have it to not leave your mark. You don't want to be forgotten about. You don't want to have any sort of you don't want to not leave any sort of significant imprint. That's one. The second energy is you're wanting to experience, to drift to foreign lands, to take life as it goes, to follow your dreams, to accomplish the goal. You want both. And they don't want you to fear the not knowing of the drifting, of taking life as it comes, experiencing it, being surprised, gaining perspective, sprouting anew. Changes. Amazing. True desires. Crown games. Look at this. Look at this. Right use of power. That's exactly it. Frig, this is so good. Right use of power. That's the true desire. Exactly what had not been happening for you. Misusing their power, squashing your light, playing frickin' head games with you, giving you deception, making you feel confused, feeling like you're not good enough, that you can't even accomplish what you're actually capable of doing and what you're gifted with. Fear of your light. You are now being like, I see you. You guys were trying to play games with me, and I was just trying to be loving and open and assuming that you would just have my best interest at heart, or knowing and wanting that you wanted the best for me. But I realized that we are not on the same page. My crown chakra has been lit. Hence why I can point you out. Hence why I am that Lord. Hence why I'm going to use my power properly as I experience life as it comes, as I figure out my lay of the land and trust in my ancestral wisdom, as my walls start to crumble and these obstacles start to dissipate, as I step into my stillness and my feminine energy, returning back to myself. Woo! 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 Pal 3, yes! Freaking love this. So stoked. Hyped right now. The secret of your surge. Damn. Oh my gosh, look at you. Fortune's wheel. Luck and right timing. Luck and right timing. The secret of your search. This is why the stillness is here. This is this beautiful energy of coming back to, again, returning to self. You know, that spark and golden light that was within you that had been continuously pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And you're naturally lucky is what they just told me. And they said, so you see you see everything very positively. And because of that, there is a lot of people who misuse your energy and manipulate your kindness for naivety and for ignorance. But you are not that. You are a queen. You are a king. You're an emperor. You're a pharaoh. You know? So fortune and the wheel is on your side, my lovely. Spirit is on your side and been waiting for you. This right timing. It's here now. For you to discover this. The ancestors are here for you to discover this. For you to experience life for real now. Get it. Love it. So your guidance moving forward as you continue on your beautiful path of your goal and your dream. As we said, we have Uras here with physical strength, vitality, and potency. We have Ingwas, excuse me, that talks about common sense, caring and love. And this is it. You come into this common sense. You understand this. The caring and love that you had give that had been taken advantage of to some degree. You're finding your own vitality and your potency and your physical strength to address the situation, which is you, which is I am going to create my success now. I'm going to do what I want because all you bitches, all you bitches been trying to sabotage my life. And I was just trying to give love. And I thought that I was not good enough and that I still needed to work harder, work this, do more. No. That is not correct. Why? Oh, yes. Because of suelo, because of success, because of your goals, because of your honor, because of that sun energy, because of your crown, because of your Lord energy. That's what happens. That luck. You get the success. You get there and you do it. It's soon as you break free from this mental prison somehow. And I don't even feel like it feels like a prison for you. I feel like you're actually not fully aware of how much BS has been done behind the scenes. And I would love to know when you find this out, how you handle it. I would love to know about it because that's my shit. I love it. I love when people level up, they mature up, and they handle it with so much grace that people are speechless. There is no rebuttal. You cannot argue. They can go blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter. Facts are facts. It's laid. It's like a peace out, good night, book closed, hasta luego. Or see you never. One of the two. You know, like... It's boss energy is what I get. It's like you'd been this princess in a cave, trapped, and then you just got set free by your own doing, my beauty, your own doing. And this friend, whoever this friend is key. I'm telling you, they're key. Oh, my beautiful collective of Pile 3. I hope this was helpful in giving you a peek into how close you are to your goal and giving you some more motivation to keep going. I'm sending you so much love. Keep watering your lives. Until next time, ciao.